Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie, and in this video, I want to break down the New York Jets' new-looked 2022 offense, go over the depth chart, go over the roster for this side of the ball after the New York Jets went over free agency and the NFL draft. Now we know what to expect with this offense under Mike Lafleur in his second season as a New York Jets offensive coordinator. This offense got a lot more talented in one offseason after that first year with Robert Saleh and Lafleur and rookie Zach Wilson. So I'm really excited to break down each position, give you guys my thoughts about the depth chart, who's going to be making the roster, and on the depth that we basically have across this entire side of the ball. I've never looked at the offense on the New York Jets and looked at it on paper and saw this much quality depth and this much youth for the future, and I'm super excited to give you guys this video. So before we hop into it, I just want to mention, if you guys are new to Jets Media, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I got a lot of Jets content coming your way, and I want to say thank you guys so much. I just hit 11,000 subscribers, so thank you for that. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video, please do not forget to hit that like button, and if you guys want to check me out over on Instagram and Twitter, that is at NYJets_media. With that being said, let's jump right into the 2022 New York Jets offense. So here's a graphic of what the New York Jets offense is going to be looking like in terms of by position. It's a beautiful thing. If you look at this, we're pretty much stacked everywhere. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I've never looked at a New York Jets offense on paper and had this much optimism, not only with the top people, but the people behind them, the depth, the quality players that was added, and also players that are, a lot of them, on rookie contracts that we feel like are going to be part of the future for this New York Jets offense. The young core is real, and Joe Douglas has done a phenomenal job building this offense through the draft and allocating it through free agency as well since his time here. You know that Joe Douglas came here, and pretty much every single person on this offense basically is all Joe Douglas acquisitions, which is why I am so excited to break down this, because Joe Douglas did such a great job with this offense. So let's start off with the quarterback room. This isn't anything brand new. This is probably the only position that's staying the same, with all players as backups as well. Zach Wilson, obviously the starter, and then Joe Flacco and Mike White are the two backups behind Zach Wilson. I love the continuity there. I love that Joe Douglas brought back the same exact quarterback room. He felt like they had a good dynamic. You got Joe Flacco, who is that veteran that Zach Wilson can lean on, and of course the Hall of Famer Mike White coming after that crazy performance last year. You got to bring him back, and I'm excited they did that. So these three players, obviously it's all on Zach Wilson to be the guy in order to elevate this offense. He's pretty much the X factor, because you can't really harp on Joe Douglas anymore in terms of building around Zach Wilson. He did his job in Joe Douglas. Now it's up to Zach Wilson, the coaching staff, to get the best out of this offense, because the playmakers and the protection is there. So let's get right into it. So right next to Zach Wilson, we're going to start off with the running backs. We got Breece Hall, Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman, Ty Johnson as the four running backs that I'm expecting to compete to make the roster. Other guys that are not listed are LaMichael Pirine, Austin Walter, Bam Knight, who's an undrafted free agent as well. There's a lot of running backs on this team that's going to be exciting heading into training camp, and I'm excited to see what happens. But man, this running back room is probably the best that we've seen. First of all, these two players, in Breece Hall and Michael Carter, has a chance to be legitimately one of the best, if not the best, duo in the entire NFL. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but realistically speaking here, the Jets got a steal of Michael Carter last year in the 4th round, and I thought he was going to be the running back one for the future for this New York Jets team. I know that this offense is all about running back by committee, so I never really expected Carter to become like the guy that gets 15 to 20 touches a game. But now we go in the draft and get the best running back in the entire NFL draft by drafting Breece Hall out of Iowa State, who had 24 straight games to the touchdown. He's undisputably running back one in the draft, and he is a bell cow workhorse 3-down back that can take 20 carries a game. Now, I'm not expecting him to take all the carries away from Carter. It's a perfect dynamic of those two players, because if you guys remember, Michael Carter at UNC, he's used to sharing the backfield with the star. He had Javonte Williams at college, and now Javonte Williams at the next level doing his thing in Denver. He's a star of his own, but Michael Carter is an absolute perfect number 2 or number 1B, if you would say it that way, to a Breece Hall, because he's a really good pass catching back. He's elusive on the perimeter, and give Breece Hall an opportunity to take it to the next step in terms of he's a home run hitter. So Breece Hall and Michael Carter has a chance to be extremely special, and I feel like they have a chance to really be one of those duos that you look at in the NFL. And the best part about it is they're both so young. Michael Carter was a rookie last year. Breece Hall's going into his rookie season this year. The future's bright for the running back room. Now let's get into the wide receiver receiver room, this wide receiver position is awesome. I want to talk about just 5 players. I know that there's other players that are going to be fighting to make the roster for preseason and all that stuff, but we're going to start off with Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Braxton Berrios, and Denzel Mims. These are the 5 receivers I'm expected to be at the depth chart 1 through 5 in no particular order. And let's just start off. Obviously, there's only one new addition to the wide receiver room, and that being Garrett Wilson. The Jets did not sign any free agent wide receiver. We lost Jamison Crowder in free agency to the Buffalo Bills. We also lost Keelan Cole in free agency. I'm pretty sure he's unsigned still, but the Jets doesn't seem like they're bringing him back unless they want to bring him back for depth purposes. But they just add Garrett Wilson to the mix, and we all knew that the New York Jets were in on every single veteran free agent, or every single wide receiver in the trade market, like Deebo Samuel, like Tyreek Hill. They were in that market, but the Jets and Joe Douglas made the decision to go in through the draft and draft another receiver, just like they did with Denzel Mims in 2020, just like they did Elijah Moore last year, and now Garrett Wilson this year. Garrett Wilson is the piece to the puzzle for this wide receiver room that's going to take this position to the next level, in my opinion. Garrett Wilson is a lot better than I think any of us Jets fans can expect, because he, in my opinion, is the best receiver in the draft. Jameson Williams, if you guys remember, was my favorite wide receiver in the draft just because I love this tape in Alabama, but obviously he tore his ACL, so the Jets felt more comfortable, and Garrett Wilson I think is the better prospect, but I just fell in love with Jameson Williams as a player. Doesn't mean that I like Jameson Williams better as a prospect, but all I'm trying to say is Garrett Wilson has a chance to be probably the best rookie receiver in this entire draft class of this season. He's that good where he's going to be probably coming out of the gate swinging. I'm not expecting him to have a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase type season, even though that is possible. We have to realize that he's going to have some rookie mistakes. He's not going to be, putting up 7 receptions, 100 yards, and a touchdown every single game. He's going to have his drops. He's going to have his miscues with Zach at first. But I am expecting Garrett Wilson to be a guy that's going to be a home run hitter, take the top off the defense. When the ball's in his hands, he's electric. He can really do a lot of things, make people miss in the open field. 4.3 speed, absolutely next level. And the best part about this is it's only going to benefit guys like Elijah Moore and Corey Davis. Corey Davis is a player where he had his best season of his career in Tennessee when he had a number 1 receiver next to him in A.J. Brown. Corey Davis was 14 yards shy of 1,000 yards, and then the New York Jets signed him in free agency. And if you look at that contract now, I know some people were like, oh, Corey Davis is getting overpaid. No, he's not. Look at the wide receiver market right now. It's absolutely crazy. Christian Kirk's contract, all the other superstar receivers. Corey Davis is being paid to be a number 2 receiver, and now he's a number 3 receiver on this New York Jets team behind Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson. I'm expecting Corey Davis to have a bounce back season this year simply because all the focus is going to be on Garrett Wilson. All the focus is going to be on Elijah Moore, which should open up the veteran Corey Davis, who is very talented, and I'm really hoping for him to have a bounce back season and stay healthy. And then Elijah Moore, of course, I always felt like he was the future number 1 receiver for this New York Jets team, but now we add Garrett Wilson, and Elijah Moore is a player that's going to be so awesome for this Jets team simply because he has chemistry with Zach Wilson already. He's so shifty. He's going to complement Garrett Wilson so beautifully because they both are awesome at route running. He can go over the middle. He can line up in the slot, line up in the outside, take the top off the defense. I'm expecting big things from Elijah Moore. If you guys remember, last year, Elijah Moore in those 5 or 6 games to finish off the season literally was going crazy. I had one of my friends talk to me who is not a Jets fan, and he had him on his fantasy team. He's like, yo, just so you know, Richie, Elijah Moore is the reason why I won my fantasy championship, because I picked up Elijah Moore, and 5 weeks straight he was going off and he led me to the championship. And I'm like, that's awesome to hear that Elijah Moore, a New York Jets player, was that good. And it also makes you realize that if it wasn't for Elijah Moore's injury, Elijah Moore would have finished off the year with even crazier numbers, and we'd be even more hyped about him. So get hyped up for Elijah Moore in year number 2, because what he did in that 5-game sample size wasn't a fluke. That was when he finally got the ground running. He started off the year a little slow, like most rookies do. He got comfortable with Zach Wilson. He got comfortable with the system, and then he was just going crazy for 5 weeks. And unfortunately, he had to get injured and miss the remainder of the season. So let's hope that he stays healthy, because if Elijah Moore can take that next step with Garrett Wilson as a rookie and Corey Davis, those top 3 receivers are awesome. And then getting into Braxton Berrios, I mean, we're all so happy that he's back on the roster, getting re-signed with the New York Jets for 2 years. We all know what he does as a special teams punt returner, kick returner. He's an all-pro. That's all great, but I am expecting Braxton Berrios to have a way bigger impact this season on the offense. I don't think he's going to take any snaps away from these guys. I think that this offense is all about people going in and out, rotations. I think Braxton Berrios is going to be lined up in the slot a lot. I feel like him and Zach Wilson, low-key, might have the most chemistry out of any of these receivers. I just feel like Braxton and Zach were really reliable together, and Braxton was the only one healthy at the back end of the season. If you guys remember, when Zach Wilson was playing his best football, Corey Davis was out, Elijah Moore was out, and Braxton Berrios was like the only healthy receiver. It was him, Keelan Cole, Jamison Crowder, and Denzel, and even Crowder got banged up. So that's what you love to see from Zach Wilson, elevating guys around him. But I'm expecting Braxton Berrios to be reliable, be that guy on 3rd and short, get to the sticks. He always catches the ball. I've never seen Braxton Berrios drop a pass in my life, to be honest. And he just has that spatial awareness to know where to go in his routes to make sure that Zach Wilson can put the ball on the money to get those 3rd downs or pick up the 1st downs or get those touchdowns, baby. And Denzel Mims is a very interesting player because last night I actually listened to Daniel Jeremiah's Move the Sticks podcast, and they were breaking down Garrett Wilson, and they were talking about the Jets wide receiver room, and he said Denzel Mims is apparently in the best shape of his life, and the Jets front office and Joe Douglas are really excited about Denzel Mims going into training camp because they feel like Denzel Mims is a player that's going to be becoming a player that's going to have an impact this season if there is an injury, because obviously he's going to be 5th on the roster in the depth chart, so he's really not going to get that much room unless someone goes down, but injuries do happen. So I'm not expecting Denzel Mims to break out. He was a player last year that was high on, and he did disappoint, so I'm not going to put that expectations on him. But all I'm trying to say is it's a good sign that he is getting positive feedback from guys like Daniel Jeremiah and Joe Douglas, and he's in really good shape and putting in that work. Now let's get into the tight end position. This tight end position got absolutely revamped. We added 3 new players in CJ Uzomah, Tyler Conklin in free agency, and then we went out there and drafted Jeremy Ruckert in the NFL draft. This tight end room is the best it's been in a long time, probably my lifetime as a Jets fan, to be honest. CJ Uzomah, first of all, excellent free agent acquisition. The leadership is going to be probably his most important role on this team in terms of the locker room presence. He knows what it takes to take a young team to the next level with the Cincinnati Bengals. He was that veteran leadership, the guy that riled everybody up before the games, and I'm really excited to see what he can do. He's a seasoned vet. He's going to be a security blanket for Zach Wilson, but he is a player that does get nicked up at times, which is why I love the depth that we have, because if he unfortunately does get nicked up for a game and he cannot play, I'm confident in Tyler Conklin and Jeremy Ruckert to be the 2 tight ends. And Tyler Conklin's a player who filled in for Irv Smith last year when he went down at Minnesota, and Tyler Conklin put up really good numbers. He's a really good receiving tight end. He's also a phenomenal blocker, and that's another thing that we have to remember. All three of these tight ends have a similar strength, which is run blocking, and we know that the Jets are going to try to run the ball a lot with these running backs, and we'll get into the offensive line at the end of the video, of course. But then Jeremy Ruckert is the perfect pick for me in the draft simply because he's the future of this team. Not to say he's not going to get a lot of playing time as a rookie, but this is the guy that they're looking at to develop, so year 2 or even year 3 he becomes the number 1 tight end in this offense, because he's a player that we all know as his number 1 priority at Ohio State was blocking, being that run blocker, being that guy to set the edge. And we all know that he's a Long Island native from Lindenhurst, Long Island. The story is great, but in the limited reps that he did get as a pass catcher, as a tight end, he flashed one-handed grabs, tough grabs, great catch radius, really good route runner. We all know what would happen in Ohio State. He has guys like Garrett Wilson, who now is his teammate, Chris Olave, so many weapons in Ohio State, so the ball never really went to Jeremy Ruckert, but when it did, he really took advantage of it. So I'm expecting Jeremy Ruckert to have a big impact as a rookie when his name is called, and especially in the future. Absolutely love this tight end room, and obviously there's other guys behind them like Trevon Wesco and Kenny Yeboah, who will be providing depth maybe on the practice squad if one of these guys do go down. Now, to finish it off, let's get into the trenches where it matters the most. Now, this is probably, outside of Zach Wilson, the most important piece for this entire Jets offense, and that's with any offense around the league, in my opinion, because it all starts up front. Now, starting off with the tackle position, we have George Fant and Mekhi Becton competing for that left tackle spot. If I had to guess, I feel like they will run with George Fant at left tackle simply because of his season last year was just perfect, excellent as a pass protector. That's what you want in your left tackle, is to be the dominant pass protector and protect Zach Wilson's blind side. And it's not a bad thing if Mekhi goes to right tackle, because Mekhi Becton played right tackle in college as well as left tackle, so it's not like he doesn't have experience on that side. So I feel like the big X factor for this offensive line is Mekhi Becton, in my opinion. We all know that he's a big topic. I feel like the draft should give him a lot of confidence that they did not go out there and draft Ikem Ekwonu, or they did not draft a first round or even second round offensive lineman. They waited till the 4th round to get Max Mitchell. So the two tackles, if they're healthy, I got a lot of confidence in Mekhi Becton and George Fant to be dominant, especially Mekhi Becton as a right tackle in the run game. Because please do not forget what Mekhi Becton did as a rookie. He flashed his elite potential. He wasn't perfect as a rookie. If you look at his numbers, he wasn't like the best tackle in the league. But as a rookie, he went up against big-time players like Aaron Donald and absolutely destroyed Aaron Donald on the play. He matched up with Nick Bosa. He matched up with Joey Bosa. He went up against really top-notch pass rushers as a rookie and look like a player that belongs in this league. So let's hope that Mekhi can get healthy and be in shape and be starting all season long for the season. Now getting into the guards. Now this is probably the most important piece to this entire Jets offensive line in my opinion, especially the strong suit. We go out there and sign Laken Tomlinson, the Pro Bowl guard, in free agency. And then of course we have Elijah Vera Tucker heading into year number 2. Now Laken Tomlinson will be at left guard. AVT will be at right guard. These are the two pieces that are going to be dominating in the run game. They're going to be pulling for those widespread zone schemes in the run game, and I really feel like they're going to be opening up awesome holes for Breece Hall and Michael Carter in the run game. And of course, Connor McGovern is the starting center. I feel like he is the weak link of this offensive line, but at the same time, in my opinion, he's an average to an above average center. I know that Jets fans don't like him and they want to replace him, and I want to replace him for the long term as well, but Connor McGovern is coming off a decent season for the Jets last year. Year 2 in the system, he's going to be the quarterback of that offensive line, and hopefully he can have his best season for the New York Jets. Now, this offensive line from 1 to 5 as the starters, I'm absolutely confident that they can be a top 10, potentially top 7 run game in this league if they stay healthy with this Benton as the offensive line coach, with Mike Lafleur as the offensive coordinator, and the run game with Breece Hall and Michael Carter. The run game, I think, is going to be the strong suit for this offense, and especially in this offensive line, and hopefully they can protect Zach Wilson as well. And when it comes to the depth, we have Connor McDermott, Max Mitchell, and Chuma Edoga as the 3 tackles that will be backing up George Fant and Mekhi Becton. We also have Greg Van Roten. We also have Dan Feeney, and we have other players on the roster on the offensive line that will be competing in training camp. So I'm really excited about with this offensive line. This is definitely the biggest piece to the puzzle for this offense if it really wants to click. This is the unit that needs to stay healthy. They need to open up holes for the running backs and protect Zach Wilson. So that's my thoughts of the New York Jets 2022 offense. Leave a comment down below your thoughts about this offense. What's your expectations? What type of numbers do you expect this offense as a whole to put up? How many points per game are we going to average? Is it going to be 25 plus? Is it going to be 30? I don't think it's going to be 30, but all I'm trying to say is, to finish off the video, and I said it in the beginning of the video, this offense has so much potential if it stays healthy, especially, and this is the most important piece to this offense that we all need to keep in mind. Mike Lafleur is entering year number 2, and Zach Wilson and all the rookies from last year and even all the veterans, continuity is going to be the reason why this offense clicks, because they don't have to go through growing pains. They don't need to go through learning the plays or understanding anything. They already had that growth year last year as their first year with Mike Lafleur and Robert Saleh as the head coach and Zach Wilson being the rookie quarterback. Zach Wilson entering year 2 in the system. Mike Lafleur entering year 2 in his first time ever being an offensive coordinator. Everyone's going to be thinking quicker. They're going to know where the ball's going to go. They're going to understand the plays even better, and it's up to the rookies and the new veterans to understand the playbook, because they're obviously not coming in with the continuity factor. But what I'm trying to say is the continuity is a big-time piece to this offense taking that next step, and a big-time difference to what Sam Darnold had to experience in his rookie season. In year number 2, he had a brand new offense, brand new scheme, brand new coach with Adam Gase that he had to learn, and it was all way too much. And obviously Sam is not a good quarterback. We can see that in the league, and I'm not trying to compare the two, but all I'm trying to say is, if you compare the situation that Sam had as a rookie and then going into year number 2 to what Zach Wilson has as a rookie, for him to go into year number 2 with the same system, the same coaching staff, with even better playmakers in year 2, it's going to be a lot of fun for the New York Jets, and we're going to be scoring a lot of points, and it's going to be electrifying. And I guarantee you this, that the Jets will be a team across the NFL, not Jets fans, non-Jets fans are going to look at the Jets and say, wow, the Jets are a fun team. The Jets have a really, really fun team that they're going to be fun to watch. I mean, if you look at the roster and look at all these young playmakers, Jets are going to be a team that people are going to want to watch. And we're also going to be a productive team in fantasy football. Breece Hall, Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, those are all going to be players that people are going to be drafting high in fantasy, and I guarantee you that. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments of the New York Jets offense. I'm really stoked, as you can tell. Probably the best offense on paper that we've seen in a while as a Jets fan. And please do not forget to like the video if you guys enjoyed. Comment down below a Jet emoji if you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Let's go Jets. Peace.